All right, so let's figure out how to make this little guy. First and foremost, his head is sort of long. I'm trying to figure out the easiest way to sort of make his face. Whoops. So I think I'm going to turn it on its side and stretch it out firstly. So something like that. So eyes would be here. That's actually not bad. Maybe I'll flatten it a little bit. Okay, so this is it's a decent sized head. Part of me wants to use a more of a square, but I think the circle's good. I think the circle's good. Let me clone it and then try to make. I just want like more of a skull. I think something like that is good. Stretch out a little bit, but move it back. I think I just want more of a skull like that. I think that looks pretty good. And then the eyes would go here. The mouth has plenty of room to do that. Also, he's going to be, let's move these up. Let's move it up a little bit more. He's going to be sitting. Let's move it up a little bit more. Even though his head might be down, I don't know how I'm going to do his head. But I think that looks pretty good, so I'm just gonna merge these together and smooth them out with symmetry so that they're nice and smooth. Hopefully this isn't shaking the camera too much. But I just try to think of the overall basic shapes. It makes it a lot easier when I'm just thinking of overall shapes. And I feel like that's a decent shape of his head. It sort of looks more like this. I know that image is pretty small, but something like that. And then for the eyes, it's going to be really important to figure out where I want the eyes and the nose too. The nose might help. That actually might make it a little bit easier. So I'm going to add a new sphere. Bring it up to the front. Smaller, flatter. Not too much nose. Maybe a little bit wider. Maybe smaller. Maybe something like this. So it's not too nosy, but I definitely want him to have a nose. So I think something like that might work. And the mouth would go directly underneath. All right, so let's try to figure out these eyes. So let's make 2 more cylinders. We'll move them up. I'm thinking, how big are these? These are still quite big. But he does have big eyes. A little bit closer in. So I'm thinking something like this. Gotta leave some room for the... So if his eyes are somewhere like this, let's just validate that. And if I was to clay this area away, because his eyes is sort of flat on the bottom. Oops. Clay away. Let me get rid of this color. So that's forward, but maybe we want it backwards instead. So maybe something like this. But then there's also a little something here too. I want to try to honor that, the drawing, when I do this little... I want to try to honor that as much as I can. Okay, so maybe we want to dig that out a little bit more. Okay, something like this. Let's make this a little bit flatter. Might even use the flatten tool. Okay, let's go ahead and smooth this and just see how it looks. I might have to undo all of this, but I think it looks okay. I think that looks pretty good so far. So now it's just a matter of sort of manipulating the eye to sort of work in that space. So like something like this might be good. It might even need to make the eyes bigger. Move them in a little bit closer. I kind of like that. I do feel as though I need to this is why the drag tool can be very, very useful, because you can really just shape things quite easily. The eye, I do sort of want to, let's use move tool. The eye, I do sort of want it to come down a bit. I think I want it to. That might look silly. And you can, let me go to, you can actually pinch this too. To really get those planes. And by planes, I mean like, you know, like this flat plane here and then a flat plane here. Let's see if there's something better I can do for the eyes. Maybe if I don't stretch them. No. I kind of like them better stretched out. Let's see what we can do here with the eye. I usually try to leave the eye as a cylinder, but sometimes the optics just don't jive. And sometimes I need to alter it. Because ultimately I just want it to look the way I want it to look. Ultimately. I mean, that looks kind of good. Pretty happy with that. Nose I can move up a little bit, I think. I gotta remember that noses higher up and smaller, like more between the eyes, look cuter. To me, at least. And then the mouth, let's just do a practice mouth. So the mouth would be sort of like this and open. Sort of like that. I think that works. How I'm going to do a shape like that, I'm not sure. It might be better to make a crescent moon. Oh, here's one way that might work. I'll take a cylinder. You know what, let me just snap at 90 degrees. Boom. And I'll just bring it up. And I think I'll validate it, and then I will remesh it. I think 149 is fine. I don't really think I need to smooth it, but I'll just smooth it a little bit. Okay, so now we have that. So let's take this, clone it, move it up, make it bigger. And let's open it. I feel like something like this would be decent for the mouth. So as long as it's bigger than this one, we'll just do one of these. So we'll just take, that's the big one, that's the little one, so this one's going to be the mouth. And we'll select both of them, make this one blind, and then we will voxel merge them at 200. So then we have that. Let's go ahead and save. Toothless. Oh, I'll be right back.